Do you want to know what happened in the market through August? I've got the stats next. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. You've heard me say this before. Everyone wants to know how the market's doing. How's the market? What's happening in the market? So let me give you the real data, because I'm sure you've heard stories from friends or some anecdote at a party or talking to somebody that you know about what they think or they perceive is happening in the market. I'm going to tell you what's actually going on. And this is for Philadelphia as well as Montgomery, Chester, and Delaware counties. So the number of sales through the month of August are up 22.4 to 28.4%. Yes, these are real numbers. We're talking about 22 to 28+% increase in number of homes that sold. And in Philadelphia, the number's up 39.5% from this time last year through the end of August. Number of new listings are up 10.2 to 19% from this time last year. Now, again, be mindful that we were just kind of ramping things back up. School was back in session. We had just been out of that weird spring shutdown in 2020, so the numbers still could be a little skewed. There's still more new listings to pick from than people may realize or are even talking about right now. The number of new pending sales are up 12.2 to 18.2% in Chester, Delaware, Montgomery counties, and 27.9% in the city of Philadelphia. So we're seeing more homes selling and more new listings coming to the market. Prices are up 8.9 to 12.5% year to date, year over year, and days on market in the suburbs is ranging from 19 to 21 days, and in Philadelphia, it's 37 days. That's the time from a listing hitting the market and being able to be shown to a contract and agreement of sale getting signed by buyer and seller, just so we're clear. Percentage of the asking price received is 97.7% in Philadelphia. The numbers in Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties are going to blow your mind. 100.1 to 102% of the asking price. That's the average that sellers are getting right now. Inventory's down 6 to 23.5%. Ranging from a 27 to a 28-day supply in Chester, Montgomery, Delaware counties, and a 66-day supply in Philadelphia. Philadelphia did not see a decrease in inventory as substantial as we did in Delaware, Montgomery, Chester counties, only a 0.3% decrease from August of last year. So almost even versus that 6 to 23.5% decline in the suburban counties. We know that new listings are pacing ahead of pending sales for the fourth month in a row right now, which tells me inventory is going to continue to creep up a little bit. And lastly, mortgage rates are coming in just below 3%. So I just gave you a ton of data. What does it all mean? How does this affect buyers and sellers in the market? If you're a seller right now, there's three things you want to look at. One is the percentage of asking price received. This is a clear message that if you price your home where you think it's going to sell for, there is a high likelihood you're going to have competition. You're going to have buyers bidding against each other, and it's not always about the price. It's also about the terms. So will there be inspections? Is there a mortgage contingency? Is there any appraisal coverage for the difference between an appraised value and the actual sale price? All things that can benefit sellers. So don't just look at the price, look at the terms, and know that when you price it right where you think it's going to sell for, you might get a little bit more in the suburbs, and you're about even in the city of Philadelphia. The message here is don't overprice your home dramatically because those homes are sitting on the market right now. The second thing is affordability is higher for buyers. We saw a little bit of a spike in interest rates when they went above 3. Now they've come back down. And when buyers can afford more, you know what they do? They spend every penny. They always go to that maximum price they can afford because they don't want to move again. They want to get somewhere and stay there as long as possible. So buyers can afford a little more than they could a few months ago because of rates. We know that prices are holding very firm from asking price to sold price. And lastly, because inventory in the suburbs is less than a month, and in Philadelphia, it's just above 2 months, there's not a lot of competition right now. And the best time for you to have your home on the market is when other home owners don't. So 3 great reasons you should be thinking about getting on the market now if you're a seller than waiting until after the first of the year, because that's what everyone does. Or you might get that realtor out there that says, wait until after the Super Bowl for God knows what reason. Don't do that. Let the data guide you. That's the whole point of sharing this information. If you're a buyer, there's two things I see here. One is you can lock in a rate below 3%. So if you're going to be in the home over a long period of time, which you should be thinking about, moving every 2-3 years, unless you're seeing incredible appreciation or there's a job relocation or a condition that causes you to, it's not financially the best thing to do. So if you can stay somewhere longer, lock in a lower payment, it's going to save you a ton of money, number one, on your monthly payment. And secondly, look at these home price appreciation numbers. We're seeing 8.9 to 12.5%. And now that we're in the post-pandemic phase, in the year-over-year comparisons that we're looking at August, there's a lot of equity at stake here for buyers. You could be leaving a ton of money on the table, potentially 1% of the home's value a month in dollars that will be added to your net worth just by the home appreciating. And if you're in a rental right now and it's not your first purchase, well, you're paying someone else's mortgage. You might as well pay your own and build some wealth. So there's a lot of equity at stake and you can lock in that lower payment. And the bonus third point for buyers is look at the number of new listings that have come to the market. They are up. The number of sales are up. So despite everyone complaining about inventory, here's the reality. You've got to be actively looking on a daily basis. You've got to be connected with an agent that is giving you real-time updates in terms of what's available in the marketplace, because there are more opportunities than last year. Just because they're not sitting on the market as long doesn't mean the opportunities don't exist. I just gave you a ton of data. You got questions, you're thinking about moving, anything like that, talk to a professional or feel free to reach out to us directly, because a professional can give you the local information that you're going to need for your specific part of the marketplace. And we know that real estate gets hyper local. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.